Hello, I'm Angela March and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a read along, read aloud, read along. I don't know what my bangs are doing, but anyway, doesn't really matter now, does it? It actually does because I got to look at it. I have to look at it while I'm doing, okay, cool. So, again, I'm Angela March. I write thriller books, domestic, psychological, dark. The creepier, the better. Anyway, it's things anyway. So, I have Voices in Lavender. This is one of my best-selling thrillers. The follow-up is part 2. This is Static Lavender Story. And then I have Watch Me Watching You. This one actually hit international bestseller list. I was very proud of that. And I also write under the name A Story. Get it? It's A Story. I don't know. I thought it was kind of catchy. This is like, I also like to write real life situational romance. So, I think this is what we're going to be reading today. Read aloud. Read along with Angela. So this cover, I designed all the covers myself. Love of Lyrics series. And Someone You Loved, Volume 1. And I don't know, I was just real proud of this cover. It's really pretty. Simple. I don't know. I like it. I like it. All right. 1. Just breathe. I'm gonna go for the south. Well, hold on. Let me read the synopsis. It's dark. Can I see it? One rising rock star. I can't read it. It's so dark. Hold on. Okay, I think I have it figured out. Again, Someone You Loved by A Story. Angela Story or A Story. A. Story. One rising rock star, one entertainment attorney, and a 15-year age gap. This is a story of love showcasing the hardships of being in love, how to love, and trying to figure it out, taking each day as it comes. Is love the ultimate sacrifice? Samantha Braxton's journey into adulthood didn't go quite as she planned. After putting a marriage in her past and driving straight into her dreams of becoming one of the most sought-after entertainment attorneys in LA. Girl knew what she wanted. Girl went after it. When Nico Lane sang himself into her life, her youth fantasy becomes a reality. Will she compromise her career for the one thing she didn't know she even wanted? Love? Question mark. Nico Lane has lived many lives and has seen many things and has lost many people in his young years. His dreams become a reality when Samantha Braxton crosses his path, catapulting him into stardom. Fate brings two people together, but can love thrive without the compromises and their 15-year age gap. Both selfish in their own right, how much are they willing to sacrifice to be together? Or will their collision ultimately break them? This is Nico and Sam's story. Okay, let me put on some chapstick. one. Just breathe, I mumble for the 1,000th time in 30 minutes. My commute to Glendale from downtown LA has turned into over an hour because of the rain. It never rains here, and when it does, people lose their damn minds. And add Friday and the last weekend of summer before school starts, this is a freaking nightmare. My phone rings again. I continue to ignore it and my spoiled brat of a daughter who believes I can control the traffic and Mother Nature. I love and hate her equally right now. Most mothers would be sad and crying that their only child is going off to college in 2 days, 4 hours away in Vegas. Not me. I need a break from being a mom and being her punching bag. I shake my head as my phone rings again. Mia, I'll call you when I'll be home in 20 minutes. I didn't give her a chance to respond before I disconnected the call. 30 minutes later, I pull into the driveway and take another deep breath, trying to prepare myself for her rage. I walk inside and see my husband relaxing, watching the news with his feet up, drink in hand, unscathed from our daughter. You couldn't have taken her to get her last few things she needed on her list, I said calmly to his back. I don't know where to go or what to get. You've been home for 3 hours, and she would have told you. I walk past him and flipping him off in the process. Flipping. How many times do we flip people off to their back as we walk by them? Okay. I set my bag down on the kitchen counter and grab a water. Mom! I turned to face Mia. Since you hung up on me, I didn't get a chance to tell you. Blake is picking me up. I need a credit card. If I would have known this was going to happen, I would not have packed my car. I could have done all this earlier. I didn't say anything as I reached into my bag and handed over my card. She jerked the card out of my hand and stormed off. I can't blame her. I raised her. It's my fault. I caved years ago to working mom guilt. I was too busy taking care of Mike's mom, finishing law school, when I should have been paying attention to her in her formative years. I did it all without guilt. I did it all with guilt and without complaint. After Mike's mother died and I passed the bar, I overcompensated by never telling her no. She uses those years as leverage whenever she can. The kitchen is a mess, dirty dishes, soda cans, even bits of brownie batter that didn't make it to the bowl are smeared on the counter. The kitchen was clean when I left this morning. Mike walks into the kitchen with his 2 scotch blurred eyes. What time will dinner be ready? I stared at him for a second. Selfish prick. It has always been about him. I did everything while he finished school, then went on to earn his master's in computer science. I would have never married him if it wasn't for a drunken sex romp after a concert. Not that I didn't want to have a family or be a wife. I just didn't want to start a family or be a wife at 18. It's not his fault. It was my decision. I said yes. I was drunk and the aggressor that night. I fought resentment for years. But in the end, I know it was my choice. I chose to be here, to be a wife and a mother. We've had many happy times, sad times, and of course the hard years. I don't believe 2 people can marry young and grow through life together. Each person changes at different times and at a different pace. I'm not the person I was at 18, 25, or even 30. Neither is he. Now 40 is staring me down. We've never talked about the what ifs. He did the right thing by asking me to marry him, and I did the right thing by saying yes. I would have never asked him. I'd never asked him if he would have chosen differently. Would he have? I put my life on hold to take care of everyone else. After 18 years of marriage, my only child is going off to college. I've given my all to everybody. I'm tired of my life. Now it's time I've lived for me. I stared at my husband before I said I want a divorce. Chapter 2, 4 years later. Dr. Calvin pulls the gown over my knees and looks me directly in the eyes. Your vagina is depressed. I sit up. Excuse me? Depressed? She takes off her gloves. Sam, I have a numerous amount of patients that all have the same symptoms. Itching, burning, dryness, all symptoms of a yeast infection. It's not a yeast infection. You have a sad, ignored, and underused vagina. Women's bodies are meant to be a well-oiled machine. Well-oiled machine. I thought it was from stress, my detergent, or because of all the working out I do. I switch detergents and wear baggy workout clothes. Cotton granny panty underwear. What caused this? She shakes her head and she grabs her prescription pad. That's great, but she exhales. Career, family, stress, lots of loss of sleep, just life in general. Women are busier now than ever before. We tend to put our needs last. You know how it is. Sam, I've known you for years. And I appreciate you driving over here all the way from the Hollywood Hills. However, just spit it out. The female body needs certain things to work properly. I know you take care of yourself, you eat healthy, you are fit, you look better than most soon-to-be 40-year-olds, but what? You need to take care of yourself sexually. When was the last time you had relations or a healthy, fulfilling release? I am stunned. I reply, I don't have time to date. I barely had time to make this appointment. You don't have to date. There are things. Like a dildo? Well, sure. I have a great handheld shower sprayer. I'm busy. Sometimes it's too much effort to find the time with the kids, my schedule, my husband. Sometimes he finishes before I do. Well, most of the time he does. I digress. It's easier to have my release in the shower. It takes less than 5 minutes. Boom, done. Happy vagina, a relaxed mind and body. She starts scribbling. Here. What's this? It's a low-dose antidepressant. I'm not depressed. It's not for you. It's for your vagina. Vagina. I don't want this. She exhales. Fine, then try something else. You can buy anything online. I'm sure there's a store in Hollywood that sells any and everything you would need or want. Don't be embarrassed about it. She hands me my clothes, looking me dead in the eyes. Sam, please take care of this. Take care of all that is you. I want to see you in 6 months. I want to see you back here in 6 months. I stare at the door after she leaves. My vagina is depressed? What the hell? During my drive back to the city, I couldn't stop thinking about the absurdity of what Dr. Calvin said. I need a second opinion. I've never heard of a depressed vagina before. I turn into my pharmacy, drop off my depressed vagina prescription, and wait. I wind my way to my house. I smile every time I pull into my driveway. I lived in a classic 2-story colonial when I was married. I've always had a great love of contemporary architecture. I would run through these hills when I first moved to LA for school, vowing one day to live here in one of these slick homes. Now I do. I'm content and happy. Those 18 years were hard. The year-long divorce that he didn't want was harder. The additional strain he put on my and Mia's relationship was brutal. She's finally somewhat over it until I tell her she can't live with me when she graduates in a few weeks. I have everything I've ever dreamed of. I just became head of contracts at Starlight Entertainment Music Division. I have clients in New York, Nashville, and everywhere in between. I work for a music label because music lives in my soul. If I can't create music, I will negotiate the hell out of it. I worked my ass off for the last 4 years for that title. I went from working in a mid-level law firm for the last 10 years, working with D-list clients, to a top floor corner office at one of the most sought-after music management firms in the country. Yet, my vagina is depressed. Bullshit. I pull my Porsche into the garage and grab my wine from the back seat. I have a feeling I will put a serious stint in this mall back tonight. After I changed into comfy clothes, I poured myself a glass and watched the sunset over LA from my deck. My phone rings. I look at the name flashing across the screen. My ex, Mike. Hello, Sam. What's up? I wanted to talk to you about Mia's graduation. Okay. I'm bringing Claudia. Okay. Do you want to ride with us, or I'm flying in and out the same day? Oh, what about her stuff? I hired movers. Oh, she didn't tell me that. She's flying back with me. What time does your flight leave Vegas? When I get on the plane. What? Firm's jet. Oh, what about her car? Movers will bring it. Okay, anything else? No. All right, see you Saturday. I disconnected the call and poured myself another glass, debating on what I want to eat when Mia's name pops up on my phone. Hi, Mia. Mom, you need to fly Dad and Claudia out with you. It will be too much on him driving 8 hours in one day. Mia, your father can get a hotel room. Why can't they fly with you? I mean, you're not paying for it. What's the big deal? After she throws guilt and the overused how I abandoned them for my fancy life spiel, I was done with her rants. Fine, I'll call him. You'll need a ride to his house when we get back. That works perfectly. What? I'm not living with you? No, I'm not discussing this right now. Mom, why can't I live with you? Because you can't, that's why. You'll live with your father. The line goes dead. I sent Mike's a text asking him if they wanted to fly with me. I was expecting a quick response text when his name flashes across my screen. Yes. Why do you hate our daughter? You are selfish. Please. I don't hate her. I just can't live with her. And you were selfish for 18 years. Are we here again? She's crying her eyes out. Says she doesn't want you to come to graduation. Okay. Silence. What's wrong with you? Not a damn thing. Why can't she stay with you until she finds a job and gets her own place? Because Claudia is moving in as soon as she closes on her house it sold last week. That's your problem, not mine. You expect me to put her first, and you don't? Samantha, I've had a hard time moving on with life after you turn my life upside down. You You should be happy for me. And there it is, his guilt trip. My life and the never-ending guilt trips. I am happy for you and my ex-friend. What does that have to do with Mia living in the only home she's known? Silence. Mike, he exhales. Claudia won't move in if Mia lives here. I laugh. Why's that? You know how difficult she can be? No shit. Silence. Here's the thing. I'll make you a deal. She lives with you until we can find her an apartment. I'll have the movers take her things to storage, and she'll only be there a few weeks. Silence. Okay. Okay, so that's settled. You two want to fly out with me? Even Claudia? I said you two. Yes, that would be great. Thank you. Sherman Oaks Airport, Saturday, 8 a.m. sharp. See you then. I disconnect the call and lay my phone on the counter and open the drawer and pull out takeout menus. 3. I was seated and working when I saw them walk onto the tarmac. They look good together. They fit. Claudia has held up well. She's 5 years his senior and 8 years older than me. It was only a matter of time before they got together. I wasn't surprised when Mike told me about them. She had been divorced for 2 years before I ended our marriage. Her 3 children are grown and living on their own. She's never worked and loves doing all that domestic crap, which I began to despise over the years. I haven't done housework in 4. I know she dotes on... Ooh, I'm having a nose itch. I know she dotes on Mike just like she did on her husband before he cheated on her with another neighbor. Suburbs, right? Cliche. Cliche suburbia. Good morning, I said as they stepped onto the plane. Good morning, Samantha. Thank you for offering us a ride. Claudia beams. I nod and show a smile. You're welcome. I take in her choice of outfit, a beautiful floral dress, bag, and shoes that complements. Her blonde, shoulder-length hair and bangs have never changed. I slide my headphones on and look down at my documents. After they are settled, we taxi onto the runway and take off. I look up after we've been in the air for a few minutes and find Claudia reading a book and Mike staring at me. He hasn't said more than good morning to me since we left LA. I take off my headphones. Is everything all right? Claudia looks up from her book. I'm great, Mike. You okay? He nods and looks out of the window. Claudia shifts in her seat. I've never flown private before, she chirps. Have you, Michael? Can't say that I have. Miss Braxton, you have a call? I stand and walk to the back of the plane. I nod, stand, and walk to the back of the plane. After my call, I walk in on to the ending of a quiet yet heated discussion. I pick up my cell phone and realize it was set to silence. That would be the problem. It's silent mode. I take my seat. I didn't realize you had went back to your maiden name. Are you trying to erase all of those years? Was being married to me that horrible? I feel as if I don't know you at all. Did I ever know you? Michael, Claudia coos, reaching over and taking his arm and takes his arm. I'm not getting into this. We can have a pleasant day celebration. We can have a pleasant day celebrating our daughter graduating college, or I'll have this plane turned around and be done with the bullshit. Your choice. We have our normal stare off, something that started during our divorce after I stopped backing down. Claudia squeezes his arm. I'm sorry, he said without emotion. A slight smile plays across her face as she rubs his arm. I slide my headphones on and look back down at my work. I have 15 hours left. I can do this. Less than 15 long hours later, we are in the air. Today ended up being a good day, even though I kept catching my scorned ex-husband glaring at me. But whatever, I'm happy this is done. As far as I'm concerned, our chapter is now over completely. Mia brought tears to my eyes when she thanked us at dinner. Mike and I shared a moment across the table, and if I read it right, it was his white flag. He knows there isn't anything else to do but finally accept, move on, and finally make peace with my decision. When Mia comes back from changing into comfortable clothes, she takes a seat beside me. I'm shocked when she leans over and rests her head on my shoulder and laces her fingers with mine. Thank you for everything, Mom. I love you. My heart bursts into 1,000 shards of light and love. I love you too. It's moments like these that make all the hard ones vanish. She fell asleep with her head in my lap. I stroked her long dark hair as I looked down at her. At her age, I had a 4-year-old clinging to my ankles, taking care of my mother-in-law in the last stages of dementia, with 4 years of law school left, with an absent husband. I hope this is her white flag. I want to have a relationship with her. I only hope one day she will understand what I had to do, why I had to do what I did. My decision had nothing to do with her or her dad. I want her to understand that the deep-seated desire I had to be me, the woman I saw when I was a young girl, full of hopes and dreams of what my future looked like. Achieving that dream took longer than expected, but I did it. I did it. She looks exactly like you. Mike pulls me from my thoughts. The dark hair, hazel eyes, long legs. He pauses. You are more beautiful. You are more beautiful today than the day I met you at Lollapalooza. I was transfixed by you then, as I am now. You look great, Samantha. I ignore his comment. I know he's still grieving the loss of us. I was just thinking about where I was at her age. Claudia is reclined back, softly snoring. You did an outstanding job. I smile. I'm not sure about that. I do know I tried. I catch a fleeting moment of hurt wash across his features. We both tried hard. I lied for his benefit. He nods. You resent me? No. It was my choice to get married and have a child at a young age. What about you? You resent me? Not for marrying you or having a child together, but the sudden divorce out of nowhere? A little less each day. I know I should have been around more in those early years. I'm not sure I could have finished school without you taking care of Mia, our home, and my mother. Thank you for finally saying that. I understand you put your life on hold for me and our family. I nod. We were young and didn't even know each other. We grew up together, then we grew apart. Thank you for providing Thank you for providing for us. You gave us a loving home. We shared our second moment of the day. Before I said, Mike, my decision had nothing to do with you or Mia. I needed to live my life I had always envisioned for myself. I needed to feel complete. I understand that now, as much as it hurt and still does. Okay. But it's time for you to let go and move on. This chapter is closed. I know, I try every day, and every day it gets a little easier. I look at Claudia. It's not fair to you or to her. I know it's not. We finally land and disembark. I hand Mia's bag to her dad. Thank you for the flight. Thank you for the flight, Claudia said through a smile before walking off. Sure, you're welcome. Mia walks over and gives me a big hug. Thank you. I'll call you tomorrow. Love you. I smile. That's the fourth love you today. It must be some form of record. Love you. I'm proud of you. Your future is bright. I yell after her. She nods and walks into the office. Okay, I think I've got everything. Mike gives me an awkward side hug. Thanks again. I nod and wait for him to walk into the office. I finally get to go home with a new sense of hope that this battle is over.